I worked in IIM Ahmedabad as a full-time professor from 1973 till 1994. After that, of course, I was associated in different capacities, sometimes as visiting professor, sometimes as adjunct professor, and of course, I was on the board for about 6 years and have continued to be a member of the IIMA Society. Uh, During the 21 and odd years that I have worked at IIM Ahmedabad, I don't remember seeing a faculty rule book. There were no rules, but there is a system of values and all self-discipline. I still remember sometime in 1973 when I joined. A few weeks after I joined, I had to go to Delhi for attending a conference. Uh, this was dealing with a book that we have written. Then I was looking, normally when you go for out of town, you need to send out a leave note or travel note to the head of the institution. And when I went and asked a professor that is there any such kind of a note, he said no, there is no note. You should simply inform your secretary. I was very surprised. In fact, jocularly, I say, you mean to say to travel outside, I should take my secretary's permission rather than the director's permission? The faculty member said, no, I think the culture of this institute is trust. The director trusts you. If you are going out of town, it is assumed that you are going on some office work and there is no need for paperwork, and you have to inform your secretary, because anytime the director needs to contact you, his office will call up your secretary and the secretary should know where you are and how to contact you and things like that. The only time when you need the director's permission is when you need some money to be paid for your travel, like hotel and so on, and you want some advance. Then there is a form to be filled, which goes through the director and then to the accounts department. If you don't need any money, somebody else is paying for you, then you don't need anything. I think this is the level of trust that existed. And the credit for creating this wonderful institution which trusts faculty members goes to Ravi Matthai. I don't know how much Dr. Sarabhai has done in the initial stages, the first 3 years or so when he was honorary director. But when Ravi Matthai was the first full-time director, joined in 1965 and was there till 1972, he developed the institute with the high values. In fact, we have written 3 books. We have co-authored or co-edited 3 books along with Udai Pareek. I joined in 1973 to be a part of the education systems unit, in which 3 of us, Udai Pareek, Ravi Matthai, and I were members. Ravi wanted this education systems group to be set up to achieve the vision of the institute. When the institute was formed, it was felt that IIM, Indian Institute of Management, is an institute of management meant to manage all sectors of society, or professionalize management in all sectors of the society, and not merely for business. That is why I think Sarabhai and others argued and fought with the Harvard Business School and made sure that IIM is called as Indian Institute of Management rather than Business Management. The original vision was that the institute will certainly work on professionalizing management in corporate sector, but besides working on the corporate sector, the institute will work on the most important areas for the country, that is agriculture, cooperatives, banking and financial institutions, educational institutions, health systems, and government, not for profit organizations, NGOs, and ultimately, I think all aspects of the country. I think treated the entire system as an operating, entire country as an operating system, and so on. So, in early years, the institute started a group called Agriculture Management Group, and also there was a cooperatives group. And the institute helped in formation of the National Institute of Banking Management, and therefore the banking sector, I think, was uh, was initiated but did not continue because of the National Institute of bank management, and so on. So Ravi thought that education and health and population are the two other sectors. Paul, the second director of Ravi Matthai, initiated a health and population group, and Ravi, the education group, because we wanted to professionalize management in the education sector. And the first program that we held in 1974 April was called as institution building in education and research. In fact, we published a book called Institution Building in Education and Research, From Stagnation to Renewal. This book was published by All India Management Association, and I'm sure if somebody goes to AIMA, they would still get copies of this book. We had excellent institution builders like Pai Panandikar, B.D. Tilak from National Chemical Laboratories, Yashpal from ISRO, then Naidamma from, I think, from the CSIR, Kamla Chaudhary, Ishwar Dayal, who was heading the Institute of Public Administration at the time, and so on. We had some excellent institution builders who came and spent a couple of days to share their experiences and thoughts on how to build institutions. I would like to refer, as a tribute to Ravi Matthai, his article in this particular volume. It was titled as Institution Building, uh, a layman's experience. I think he called it a layman's experience. And in this article, he has also given the note on faculty evaluation. This article by Ravi talks of the importance of self regulation. In fact, in another book written by Udai Pareek, when Uday asked Ravi, "What is the secret, or what is that particular quality which helped you to build such a great institution like IIM Ahmedabad?" Ravi's reply was ignorance. And he elaborated to say that he didn't have any idea of or a preconceived notion of how to manage an educational institution when he joined IIM Ahmedabad in 1965. He said that he hardly had any experience in education. He was more a manager in industry. The only experience he had was as a student at MIT and a faculty, also probably a part faculty at both at MIT as well as the IIM Calcutta, which is together less than 2 years and so on. So he said the belief system that he had guided him, and the belief was that the institute should be built by the faculty themselves. We should invest on younger faculty, and self regulation is the key to institution building. And trusting faculty to do things is the most important thing, and it is the faculty members who create the culture. I think that is the kind of a institution building expertise Ravi brought in. So that is uh, even apparent today. No faculty member misses his classes. If the schedule is worked out in the beginning of the year, it is by and large adhered to, particularly in the first year. And faculty regulate themselves. There is very little of paperwork. I don't know what will be the kind of a thing that will happen after the IIM bill has come into existence. I only hope that there isn't going to be new bureaucracy that gets introduced, because IIMA